A quick disclaimer. Since we do not receive review copies of games, the winners in the following video are based on the games we purchased and played this year. Each award was voted on from several nominations and represents the majority opinion of the Vestinium staff. Also, to promote fairness, we made it so everyone was required to vote in every category in order to prevent a game from winning by a minority of votes should everyone else skip the category. All this means is that some individual votes may have been decided through reading reviews and watching playthroughs.
Now that the technicalities are out of the way, let's get started. 2015 was an awesome year for gaming, with many people calling it one of the best ever. From new AAA IPs and highly anticipated sequels, to small indie games that shook up the formula and made a name for themselves, the past year had a lot to offer. With so many good options to choose from, we found it difficult to narrow it down to a countdown, and we decided something else was in order. So move over, Jeff Keighley, it's time for the first annual Vestinium Awards.
Sounds like fun.
In the modern gaming industry, where game soundtracks for AAA titles are praised for their cinematic nature, composer Kazuma Janouchi has created a masterpiece worthy of Halo. Using a mixture of both classic Marty O'Donnell themes and his original work, Janouchi formulates a musical adventure that is nostalgic, reminiscent, and inspiring. From the first moments in the menu to the roll of the final credits, the score for Halo 5 complements 343's storytelling perfectly. Developer DICE once again does what they do best by providing some of the greatest sound design in gaming history. From the screams of the TIE Fighters to the pulse of the blasters, every sound from the films is recreated with loving care, resulting in an experience that immerses you in the middle of the Star Wars universe. While the Rare of modern times may be a shell of what it used to be, Rare Replay provides us with a look back at some of the greatest and most influential games ever created. At the time of their release, these games were considered the pinnacle of clever design and perfect world building. In addition, the fact that they all run smoothly under one UI is a testament to Rare's dedication and respect when it comes to their history. Riding on the tails of the failure that was the Master Chief Collection, this game offers gamers a sort of redemption, along with a chance to experience gaming history firsthand.
Soared across the stars, achieved the impossible. We were heroes.
Undertale is a subversive, original, and complex game, and all of those qualities stem from the amazing story and writing it brings to the table. Undertale is smart, funny, and emotional without being cloying. It's punny without being obnoxious. It's witty without going overboard. It is original where it wants to be, but evolves the tropes where it needs to. From excellent one-liners to humorous conversations and characters, Undertale sets the bar of what an indie game, or any game really, should strive to achieve. The newest iteration of one of gaming's most beloved characters, Dogmeat is perhaps the most adorable companion in any game ever. While he is never granted the pleasure of speaking, he doesn't have to say anything to be compelling because being a cute dog is inherently great. We truly believe that there is no better companion for wandering the wastelands of the Commonwealth than man's best friend.
Let's go, pal.
During the PlayStation experience in early December, a report went out from iDigital Times stating that the PC version of the Final Fantasy VII Remake was currently available. When it was revealed that the author of the article had simply been misinformed, the heartbreak was mildly disappointing to fans of the game. But was it anything more than a simple mistake caused by human error? Not at all. Did it even have that much of an impact? Not really. But does it make for a great Best Villain award? We certainly think so. Fans of Star Wars have been clamoring for a new Battlefront game for years. When it was revealed that Battlefield and Mirror's Edge developer DICE would be creating the next entry in the much-beloved series, gamers were skeptical of how well the game would live up to their standards. While complaints have been made about the game's lack of content, there is no denying that DICE put the time and effort into creating the Star Wars universe for gamers to immerse themselves in. From the environments to the vehicles to the weapons and outfits, the level of detail in this game still gives us a sense of awe every time we play. How do you reinvent one of gaming's oldest and most beloved series? By allowing people to create their own levels, of course. A delight for any fans of the 2D Mario games, Super Mario Maker is a party game that's fun for the whole family. Parents can support their child's creativity while playing a game that they are familiar with, and families can enjoy fun competition by creating levels, then racing each other for the fastest time. There are just so many possibilities and opportunities to explore. And at the end of the day, Nintendo's latest release of the Mario franchise redefines the phrase family game night. Mortal Kombat X is another successful iteration in a 2-decade-old franchise. The story mode in the game provides an entertaining background for the bloody battles, while the fighting mechanics are as responsive as ever. As developer NetherRealm takes advantage of newest hardware, the kills grow more and more gory. As one of the best entries in the franchise, Mortal Kombat X provides gamers with mechanics they know and love, while catering to the visual expectations of a current generation game. In a market dominated by the big two, Gran Turismo and Forza, no one thought another simulation-based racing game could make an impact. But Project Cars did much more than make an impact. It made a crater. By allowing players more freedom from the beginning and giving us more choice in planning our racing careers, Project Cars did something unique and different. Not to mention that the game looks and plays like a AAA racing game should. Following up their previous arcade success in Need for Speed, Slightly Mad's foray into simulation with their newest title does a remarkable job. So, when we were proposing nominations for this category, we all kind of had a massive collective brain fart and absolutely just totally forgot about one of this year's most popular releases. So, yeah. Well, we've decided that while it's too late to revote, we'd like to go ahead and give an honorable mention here to Rocket League for being an overall fantastic game. Never has racing or soccer been so much fun or caused so much frustration. Psyonix, congratulations on having this year's biggest breakout hit, and we're really sorry we forgot about you. We really hope you'll forgive us. The return of rhythm games was not heralded, but Rock Band 4 shows that Harmonix still knows how to make a fun party game. With compatibility for older instruments and the ability to import all your prior libraries and DLC, Rock Band 4 promises hours of fun and entertainment without breaking the bank another time. Rock Band 4 doesn't really break any new ground or change the formula, but that really wasn't necessary. We just needed a break from music games, and now, 5 years out from Rock Band 3, we were ready for Rock Band 4, and it delivered. So I know what you're thinking. Vestinium, didn't Grand Theft Auto 5 come out in 2013? Shouldn't there be rules against this or something? I know it's a little confusing, but please hear us out. We've honestly never had more fun with a game this year than we did playing Grand Theft Auto Online. With the constant updates to the game, the PC-only custom jobs, the amazing graphical fidelity, and the long-anticipated addition of heists, GTA Online finally reached its full potential this year alongside the PC release. Rockstar continues to redefine online multiplayer, and GTA 5 for the PC was the final iteration in a series of generational releases that perfected the formula first launched in 2013. Witcher 3 shows off CD Projekt Red's strengths in storytelling, continuing the story of the famed Witcher, Geralt of Rivia. This game grants the player a perfect sandbox to play in, allowing you to craft Geralt's quest as your own. As the third entry in the trilogy, Witcher 3 improves on the RPG elements of the previous entries in remarkable ways, giving the player a plethora of options to successfully complete his or her goals. In addition, the developer's DLC practices have been extremely consumer-friendly, providing players with tons of free updates on top of the paid expansions that offer hours of extra content. We've already spent too many hours in this game, but we plan to spend many more over the next year.
Geralt of Rivia, the White Wolf.
Bethesda Game Studios created a true Fallout sequel that both added interesting new features and improved greatly on existing ones. Decisions like the addition of a voiced protagonist may be controversial, but new features like the addition of console mods show the developers' ability to innovate and refine their formula. From higher quality storytelling and responsive gunplay, to well-cast voice acting and detailed world design, this game culminates the growth that Bethesda has experienced over the past few years and demonstrates the passion Todd Howard and his team have for their product. While there are certainly areas that could still use some work, Bethesda has once again set a bar in open world game development. Now that we've looked at everything that was good this year, it's time to take a quick look at the bad. With every year of successful releases, there are always going to be a few flops. Who doesn't like the idea of playing against your friends as a powerful monster? What started as a remarkable idea of asymmetrical multiplayer from the creators of Left 4 Dead ended up plagued by copious amounts of DLC and major balancing issues. While the gameplay was fun, the early promotion of DLC, before the game even had gameplay footage, left a bad taste in many gamers' mouths. Once the game released, the lack of content proved to be the final straw. Not even the promise of free maps could save it, as this highly anticipated game found itself dead in the water in less than 6 months. We really wanted this to be good, but Turtle Rock, you dropped the ball hard. Payday 2 has been out since 2013, but it wasn't until this year that the developers made several poor decisions that have marred the game's legacy. After barely supporting the 7th generation console releases with only 2 updates coming to the Xbox 360 in a year, Overkill dropped all support for the last gen to favor the upcoming Xbox One and PS4 versions. When those versions launched on June 16th, they suffered from bugs and broken matchmaking. By many accounts, the matchmaking has still not been fixed 6 months after launch. Then, in October, the developer decided to add PC microtransactions that changed previously free post-match rewards into safes that required users to spend real money in order to open. These saves often contained stat-boosting weapon skins, but to add insult to injury, the saves could award players with weapon skins for DLC weapons they did not own, essentially wasting the player's purchase. On top of it all, Overkill is practically silent, only addressing the community about the problems after receiving tons of backlash. While Overkill has been addressing the issues in recent months, it will likely not be enough to save the game or their reputation. Arkham Knight was one of the most anticipated games of the year as the final entry in Rocksteady's Batman trilogy. The previous entries, Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, were praised for their gameplay mechanics and plot. Arkham Knight was also critically acclaimed and praised for its performance on console. The PC port, however, was utterly awful, missing basic graphic options and suffering from both framerate issues and massive bugs. It was so bad, in fact, that the publisher pulled the game from sale in order to get all the bugs fixed. Upon its relaunch, the game was better, but it still suffers from some major bugs that many think will probably never be fixed. Amiibo Festival is like everything you love about Animal Crossing, turned into an amiibo baiting cash grab. The gameplay itself is simply a ripoff of Mario Party, but it consists mostly of disappointing minigames and random number generation. It's almost shameful how little functionality it has, and even young children would get bored playing this game for too long. It's rare that we see Nintendo fail, but when they do so in a major way. Here's to 2015 for providing us with hours upon hours of entertainment. Our wallets may be empty, but our game libraries are full thanks to 365 days of awesome content. As 2016 begins, we look forward to the games we'll get to play and hope that they can live up to the legacy we leave behind. Thank you for watching the Vestinium Awards 2015, and we'll see you all next year.